Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. In today's video, it's time for the game console. The 640 by 480 is a new thing where a lot of these devices have like an okay resolution for retro gaming. This is called the X9 and has capabilities of running all kinds of retro games. Different colors, white, black and the green. And I think I ordered the green, but I don't know what of color is inside the box at this moment. Oh, wait, there it is. We have this particular version. This is the retro look. I think the difference is, this one comes with a controller and these are just the handheld itself. But let's do a quick unboxing and let's also take a close look at the specifications, because when you're looking at everything, this still comes with AV out cable, toilet paper manual, but at the back here I do have some interesting information. Resolution, it's going to be 640 by 480 and it has an IPS screen, they're saying on the box, 3.5 inches of fun with a high definition IPS screen. So the CPU is an ATG2273S, and just going to be honest, I've never heard of it before. System RTOS, and then of course we're having over here charging, need 2 amp charger. And the simulator option, or at least the emulators that have been supported, is Super Famicom, Game Boy Color Advance, Classic, the Famicom, NES, Mega Drive, MAME, and all the way. But no PlayStation 1, okay. So this is what we're getting. The toilet paper manual with no normal explanation into languages. We have an AV out cable, come on, AV out. Then we're having over here the USB-C cable. Okay, that's great, they're using our USB-C or Type-C. But the first thing I've noticed that this thing does have like a very nice feel to it when it comes to the weight itself. The weird thing is that we're only having 2 shoulder buttons. And they're just micro switch like previous models. At the front we're having the screen protector we're going to be removing. I always leave the plastics on normally. It's going to be difficult to record simply because of the super reflective. And I can tell you when just touching it, it's a little bit harder plastic than normal, but you need to be careful with this. So we're having over here the D-pad, 2 slider joysticks, the ABXY, and they feel absolutely horrible with the long travel and they are very tiny. Over here having the menu, select start. At the bottom, and that is kind of interesting, so having the micro USB, having 2 USB ports, and over here an USB-C. At the left, having micro SD card, volume control. At the top, having the indication, and this is the reason because the thing is also a power bank. I'm guessing you can see the indication of how fast, how far the battery inside is filled up with some juice. And already powering on, and you can hear the music, it's a familiar one, and the jack out. But there's no HDMI functionality, so that is absolutely the big downside. But let's boot it up and let's see what are we getting with the menu, because it sounds really familiar. Because it's the music that we've seen before with all kinds of different Chinese devices, plug-and-play devices, you name it, and most of the time they were not like super bad. Yeah, so the front glass is quite, let's say, plastic fantastic and reflective, but the display, they were not lying for once. It's indeed a beautiful display that we're getting inside the machine itself, where it's very difficult to capture with the camera. I can tell you that the display in real life looks kind of good. Alright, so let's see how it actually all works. Having the screenshots that we can't do anything about. That's kind of weird, the device. They're still using this on many devices, and if the file behind it gets corrupted, it's just an unusable situation. So at the bottom part, we're going to be having all kinds of emulators that he mentioned on the box itself. We even have the option for the folder searching, I'm guessing. Let's see if something is happening, pressing start, there we go. User folder, and I'm guessing here we can slap in all kinds of different stuff, like files if you're going to be needing this. But oh boy, the loading times are so long with this. Okay, I think I'm going to be need a reset, yeah. But let's move through the other functions. So I'm curious how the MAME will run on this. You can really see I do struggle navigating through the menu because the D-pad is very loose and it's quite difficult to use. But let's start off with some Famicom. Let's click on it. Oh man, I need to press the start button. There we go. And sometimes it's A, sometimes it's B, sometimes it's start, and there's no consistency when it comes to these things. But in here we're finding the game list over here, and here you can just actually see it with a very nice screenshot what it actually is. But the emulation of this Famicom is just great. No weird things going on with the audio. The D-pad plays great. Also the analog stick. They did map the right joystick to the functionality keys, or function keys. We do see some screen time, I'm guessing. It's going to be side-scrolling movement. Well, besides that, I can really enjoy myself some turtles on this. So yeah, Famicom Emulation, it's nice. Pressing the R will give you the menu over here where we can make a quick save and quick load. I always need to get used to this, but you can see pressing start will make you a quick load, quick save situation. So that's kind of cool. Joystick mode, we can map the joystick buttons and having over here different ball regions. But I'm quite disappointed that there is no, let's say, aspect ratio option. I did notice there was some back bleeding going on over here. I just wanted to showcase. And another thing is like getting into the Super Famicom. But this seems to be all working just fine. No weird craziness when it comes to the overall performance of the emulation. That's kind of weird. So the shoulder wasn't shooting, that is not like it's supposed to be. It's not a super bad thing. All the sound effects are here. Okay. I can't really enjoy it. Simply because of the beautiful display, the moving character with the D-pad or the analog stick, everything seems to be working just fine. Time for some Sega Genesis or Mega Drive. Whoa. Okay, so a little lower the volume. Okay, let's see if they messed up the buttons. Yep, they put the jumping on the shoulder, like always, because I'm guessing this is the C button, because I have A, B, X, Y, and C is over here. But so far, I can just see everything seems to be working just fine. Nope, missed the power up. No beefcake. Oh, nope, no beefcake. No, no weird thing going on over here. Great emulation performance. I'm getting punched in the face. Yeah. Okay, moving on to some Game Boy. And yeah, that's quite enjoyable. You also have normal buttons. And it seems to be that everything is turbo mode now. But when it comes to overall performance, yeah. Game Boy Color is another cool device to play on this, and it looks absolutely great. And the emulation itself seems to be working just fine. Okay, so when you're looking at some Game Boy Advance, maybe the resolution will not be perfect. And to be honest, I have second guesses if this is going to be the perfect resolution display. But it looks absolutely great. But it's such an annoying thing that there's always something they need to mess up. And Game Boy Advance is completely unplayable. You can just see how slow, it doesn't react at all, and the audio is just clearly glitching. And that is one of those many things that I don't get. It's like, why? But actually looking at the arcade part of it, it seems to be working just fine. Moving around is no problem whatsoever, no weird slowdowns. The button configuration is kind of weird. Having jump over here, okay. So that's what he thinks with these, like, say, Chinese handhelds. Somehow you have like a Game of Thrones that doesn't run at all or great at all and is unplayable, but we have a MAME that runs great. What the hell is going on with these guys? Okay, let's get a little bit more difficult, the version of, let's say, the arcades up to ROM. And also test out how deep it actually works, because that is something I didn't do before. Because I'm really curious. Also, this looks and plays amazing. So far, so good. Okay. Yep, the D-pad is great. Alright. Yep, no problem whatsoever. So when it comes to MAME, you can actually really enjoy it over here. Okay, so Ryuji was starting up with some minor hiccups. Let's go through the game. Don't hear anything there. Yeah, you can clearly hear that it does struggle here and there, but don't want the flamethrower. No, I didn't want the flamethrower. Oh. So let's see how the movement is when it comes to this. Yep, it's clearly stuttering. So that emulation performance for the Geo is not perfect. Another thing we didn't try before is the search function. And I can tell you, navigating through this thing is a nightmare. And I mean, using start all the time, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It's so confusing. Like, how do I use this? You know, this is what I mean. Like, how does this actually work? I have no idea. Maybe use the back buttons? Oh, there it is! The back buttons! Who figured that was a good idea? Oh crap. I accidentally press enter. It's just like freezing now. This is so bad. Is it done now? No, it's stuck. Okay. Howdy. Let's reset this thing. What a piece of crap. Another feature I wanted to check out. So when you're going to be turning it on and off, you can just actually see when pressing this button how many, let's say, juice is still in the device. So at the back we're finding over here the controller, and the controller is for getting the extra controller that I didn't get because it was way too expensive. But what you can actually do is charge your device with this. So we can just plug it in. Let's see if it's going to be working. All right. Let's see if it's going to be charging up. Ah, there we go. It's charging up. So that's one of the features. But whoa, the display. I was feeling that something, whoa, the display underneath is getting really hot, by the way. But that's it. So you can charge it up. But another thing we can also do is charge and plug it into the television with the AV out cable. Where's the AV out cable? Where's the AV out? There's the AV out cable. So we can charge and we can also play at the same time. So let's boot it up, and there we go. So it will automatically boot up into the television mode. Let's see, is there audio? Is there anything going on? There is no audio. Let's plug it out. Let's see what happens then. Okay. Let's plug it in. There is no audio, I'm guessing. The signal coming out of it is AV, so it's not great at all when it comes to the overall picture quality. But you can just boot up a game and play like that. But unfortunate with my particular version, I have no audio. I have no idea what's going on. It can be a problem with the cable itself. What we can do at this point is just putting this thing over there. Let's wiggle the cable. Let's see if this is an issue. No. I've been trying all kinds of cable and craziness, but nope, no results there. But so it's kind of cool. If you're going to be buying the extra controller, you can play with a friend. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that we don't have HDMI. That would be so much more convenient, and most of the time the signal is going to be slightly better. But yeah, seems to be working just fine. Beside the audio, of course, because we have no audio. This can be a cable broken, can be everything else. It's a nightmare. It's another fail. So pulling this thing apart, it's going to be super easy. Just remove 6 screws and we can just lift over the cover. So in here we're finding the 2 micro switches and a massive battery. I can't remove it because they completely like stick to the PCB, so I'm not going to be doing anything with that. We can even lift out the mainboard if I want to. In here we're finding the SD card. It is non-branded 32 gigabyte. But that's it for replacing parts. It's not going to be like the best overall solution, but you know, there's nothing much to see over here. And also we're going to be removing this mainboard, even if we can. Yeah, I think we cannot really do that fairly easy. There's not a screw in there that is holding it back, but no. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. I got a massive brain fart. Oh, they sent it off. They sent it off all of the information. No, 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 no. That's absolutely a bummer. Cannot see what they actually been using. Oh man. Oh, everything comes loose from, let's say, this part. Oh, putting it back together is going to be a nightmare. However, when you're looking at this device, this is not something I can really recommend. Yeah, it feels quite comfortable to play. It is not like a super cheap device to buy, and that has to do with the battery that is inside, because this is more like a semi-power bank, but the power bank situation is very small, so you cannot expect a lot from there. So playing the games is a very pleasant, less experience due of the beautiful display. Great D-pad, by the way. But yeah, you know, it comes with a lot of limitations where Game Boy Advance is not running like it should be. And that's one of those things that I find absolutely a waste of money, because when you have on a couple of platforms, everything needs to be running perfectly, and it's not the case. Thank you all for watching, consider subscribing, and it will be great to see you in the next video.